Hey everybody, welcome to On the Edge Entertainment, where I am inviting my favorite artists that I know and talented people to come and interview with me and let me know a little bit about their lives. Today I have Stacey Whitton Summers. Hi Stacey, you are like the most talented and ever-changing tribute artist that I've ever known. I knew there was like a perfect word for it, but I don't know what it is. Hi Stacey.
Hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention how we know each other too. Like we got to work together in Atlantic City one time, and we worked on some really cool projects. Maybe we'll talk about some of that. But we've known each other for years and years and years. I deeply respect your talents, and I can't wait to talk to you.
I love you too. I love you too. Pardon me.
She brought her party on. Uh-oh.
Um, I know. I wish that was tequila. It's just water.
I know. I think I know you well enough to know that that wouldn't be a bottle of tequila, except for some other new things that are happening in your life. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So why don't you tell us how you got into showbiz?
Well, I came from the theater world, so showbiz was not too far off when I was going to school. I was this particular showbiz, the one I know you from, the impersonating world or the tribute artist world. Um, I was in a play. I was in a musical at the Flamingo Hilton in Reno, and my dad's cousin, he happened to come and see me, and he said, "Oh my gosh, you really should audition for this part of in Legends in Concert." He says, "You would be a great Marilyn." And at that time I was, oh my gosh, well, I look like this, but I'm not blonde, and I was 19. I was actually a bodybuilder, so that was like totally what, a very
Wow.
strange thing. But the part that I was playing at the Flamingo was a dumb blonde. She talked like this. She was kind of like Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors, and she was a dumb blonde, and it was this kind of a similar thing. And it was an improv based show, so we did a lot of improv with the audience. And anyway, doing Marilyn Monroe for Legends in Concert, that also is something that I do in my show. So he just thought, he knew Jon Stewart, who is the originator of Legends, as you know. So he
Mm-hmm.
said, this is back in the day when they didn't do auditions. You had to be invited.
Mm.
And it felt so special to be invited.
Yeah.
So anyway, I said, okay, that sounds fun. So he put together an audition for me, and they were kind enough to see me at that time. And funny enough, there was an Elvis that kept stepping in front of the camera, so I had to fly down 3 different times to do my audition. Anyway,
Oh my
um,
gosh.
funny things that kept happening.
I want to know his name.
All the Elvi.
I know. Elvis and Michael
So
Jackson.
yeah, I know. Yeah, there wasn't a Michael Jackson in the camera at that time, but anyway, it was a really interesting world. I'd never heard of. They always referred to them as impersonators back then, and because it was live and it was absolutely an acting job, I was super excited about it. And I'd never been a huge Marilyn Monroe fan, and I know you do Marilyn too, Coty. You're a fabulous Marilyn.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I started out as Marilyn. That's how I kind of got into it all as well. I
I
love
didn't know
Marilyn.
that.
She's fun, but you are so amazing at it. If next time we're going to have you post some videos so that we can see, or maybe we can post some videos under this video when I, put it online,
Yeah.
and you can show off your amazing stuff.
Your twitch is getting faster. Need some cooling off, don't you, Jerry? I've always had this weakness for men with glasses. Men with glasses, they're so kind, gentle, helpless out there. Sure, big eyes, Jerry. If I were a boy, some Dynamite, one fit and hefty. I just adore it. Asking for more, 'cause my heart belongs to your daddy. I'll give you another chance to sing, Jerry. This is kind of like cotton candy. Santa baby, what are you doing next? Not a lot. I've been an angel all year, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Oh, you're perfect. Will you excuse me just 1 minute? I can't help myself.
So cool, Stacey.
As you know, it's a really fun character. People really love Marilyn. And anyway, so that's the one that I started with. After I got hired with them, I was 23 or 24. I'd just gotten hired. And so it was super exciting to be able to travel all around, and they had shows all over the world at that time. Anyway, that's how I got into this in particular style of entertaining.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, were you trained as, did you take, you grew up in LA, right?
No, I grew up in Reno, and I have five siblings. I'm one of six, and so they're all musical as well. And so we grew up in a musical household. My mama, my dad was an actor. He was in LA, and my mom grew up in LA, and so they met there. And because my dad was from Reno, they moved back here. But we were all musical. I was harmonizing with my mom at age 5. I remember in kindergarten knowing and writing music, and kind of before I knew it was a thing. I just organically gravitated to it, and because my mom sang all the time, that was very natural for me. Songwriting, singing. I was a saxophone player.
What? Now this is something I never knew about you. I love this.
Oh, I lived
love the
and
saxophone
breathed the saxophone, and then I did some flute and clarinet as well. But saxophone was pretty much my whole life. I took acting lessons when I was a kid. My mom always said, you got to get them before they're 11, because then they're too self-conscious. So I did. I was in a lot of drama classes. And when I was about 9, I started on the saxophone. I had a really gracious teacher who thought that I had some potential. So he took me and about 8 of us on, 3 of my siblings. We went to Catholic school, so they didn't have a budget for a music program. So, he was just this gracious, wonderful man, and he gave us lessons for 12, 13 years, and that's pretty much. We went there in the morning at 6 a.m. before school, and we had an octet. Is that a thing?
Oh my God!
It's a thing. There was 8 of us.
Wow.
All the music people are going, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. But anyway, there was 8 of us, and we were a classical group, and we toured. He set up a tour for us, and we went to all the schools, and we had our classical group, and that's pretty much where my background came from.
Oh my gosh. So, like some people talk about how their parents don't support the fact that they're wanting to get into entertainment as, a young person, and you had it all around you. So you really had no choice. It's like,
right. Yeah, we did. We were, you're right. That's a really sweet thing for you to recognize, but it's true. We were really fortunate. My parents were, they lived vicariously through us, because they didn't end up moving on with their acting and singing careers, because, I came along and kind of ruined everything.
oh, well, I know they must be proud of all of you now, and you guys have got so much cool stuff going on. Regarding your career, maybe you have something to tell me that's like your biggest claim to fame.
Ooh, am I famous now? Yes.
Do you have some? I bet you have something.
I would think probably just that I do quite a few characters. I morph into people pretty easy.
different roles, Katy Perry and Shania Twain. I love the wow factor at the end when the audience is going, "Where's Katy Perry?" And then they say, "I'm the same person." So that's really the most fun for me. So with all the different characters that I do, once I start learning their music, I have found that 9 times out of 10, I naturally move like them.
You
Oh,
morph,
for sure. And
you morph
just
into a better artist is what I meant.
Yeah. Right. And I know we could talk on this, you and I, for hours about how the entire process, the whole thing is important, right? Like once you put your wig on, it's different for every artist. Or if you wear a wig, if you don't wear your own hair, the outfit that you're wearing and the way that you walk in your outfit. I had such a good time I gotten to do one of my favorite things in life, and that was I got to do a master class for a high school theater group, and that was a couple years ago. And myself and Damian Brantley, he does Michael Jackson, we went and did this great class for them, and it was so fun because I got to kind of dissect how you and I and all the people we work with get into our characters. And it was amazing to me doing the different characters that I do, how each one of them was actually, my movement came naturally to me. When I wore their outfit and then moved to their music, I found that I naturally moved like that person. It was kind of bizarre. And then I would go back to studying them and thought, oh my gosh, I already, did that interesting move, like even Shania Twain, she's a very athletic singer, right? She's very, here, I'll stand up for you. She's very, she's like got her knees down and she's kind of, hunched over the whole time, and she's
rocking out.
Yeah, she's a very athletic singer as opposed to someone like Celine Dion, who's very, very feminine. And she's still actually, I gotta take that back. Celine's kind of athletic too, but
yeah, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, and it is so weird how. I remember one thing that I thought was really strange about the whole Gwen Stefani thing was when I tried to make my voice sound like her, it would make my face look like her. And that's something that I would never guess, but it's so strange.
Yeah. You're right. That's exactly right. And you look a little more or less like some of your characters. I do. And so Shania, dissecting my face. So I do Shania Twain and Martina McBride and Gretchen Wilson, Katy Perry, and Pat Benatar. And so what's fun is to look at your, like if you dissect each part of my face, and I don't really look like any of them, but I can say, oh, my cheekbones are like Martina's, or the shape of my eyes, my jaw is like Shania. But when I sing,
oh my gosh, I just saw it too.
It's more Shania, right? It's like Shania. It's a facial expression, right? So it's amazing how people always ask me, how did you know you could do they ask you this? How did you know you could do that person?
Yeah.
You get asked that a lot?
No, that's not a question I get asked, but
I get asked it all the time. And I think really, I kind of look at them and see, vocally, of course, that's just as important as looking at like the person, but saying, okay, can I vocally do this person? Do I sound like them? And do my facial expressions lend itself to that character, like you said? Pat Benatar has she's got she doesn't really have so much of an underbite. It looks like one, but it's she just has a lot of teeth, and so it just anyway. So she sings kind of like this, right? And so I had to kind of learn to sing. That didn't really look like her, but I have to do that to be able to
no, I totally get it. I get what you mean. And
like her too.
I think people are asking you that too, mostly because they know you as the other characters. So I think they're just so in shock that you moved on and tried to do yet another character and do it amazingly that they wonder, how could you know that you could do that? I think that's maybe why.
Thank you. And you know what's interesting about that? Because I do ask myself when people say, how did you know you could do that? Of course, you have to kind of soul search and you think, gosh, I don't know. But like Martina McBride, I saw a picture of her on a magazine when she had longer hair like this,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was Shania Twain. And yet when you put them side by side, they look nothing alike. They really don't. But I thought, oh gosh, if I think that, somebody else, and somebody, I swear the universe works that way. They put it in your head because somebody, my friend Inez, you know Inez, lovely Inez,
Mm-hmm.
Inez Zach, she does Gloria Stefan, and she said, oh, you really should, you remind me of Martina. You look like Martina. You should do her. And when she first said that to me, I thought, that's an interesting thing. And then literally like 2 days later, I saw that magazine cover and I thought, yeah, that's a sign. I should probably see how this works out. And then when I started doing Martina, I started that in 2010 for Legends in Concert. Recently, I had Sherry Ray. I get to just name drop. It's so fun. Sherry Ray, you know her as well, Bette Midler. She said she saw a video of me doing Martina McBride, and she said, oh gosh, Stace, you really should do Pat Benatar. And I thought that was interesting. And I, of course, asked her why. And she said, well, your vocals are amazing. But she said, you know, you look similar. And she said, when the way you move. And she said, you know, Martina McBride has always wanted, her idol was Pat Benatar. She patterned her hair after her and her style after her.
Interesting.
And so I do the short hair. I talk about the long hair Martina, but I always do the short hair Martina.
Okay, cool.
So that must be, anyway.
Well, that's pretty amazing, you know, how they all sort of coincide, and thank God that we can figure this out and, you know, get more ways to work. I mean, it's smart, and we get to work more, I guess, you know. How about tell us one of your most embarrassing moments on stage, or funny?
Oh gosh. You know, there's so many. There was one that I thought was fun that I was in Branson, Missouri, and it was my very first Shania Twain job.
Okay.
And I was the backstage guy. He did my quick changes for me, and I got flustered one day. And when I was doing "Honey, I'm Home," that was the song I did the quick change in. There's that long instrumental. And I ran backstage, and I always put my microphone down, and then I grabbed, I would do my zipper, and I would take a swig of water. I'd grab my microphone and run back out on stage. Well, this particular day, I got flustered. Something happened with my zipper, and I grabbed my water bottle instead of my microphone. And I ran out on stage, and I went,
No, you got all the way out on stage with a water bottle?
in the center. I mean, and I ran straight for the center, honey, and planted myself. And I was supposed to be going, honey, I'm home, and I had a hard day. But it's that part where it comes back in. Well, that everybody else saw this with what? And the sound guy was like, what's going on? Like, they couldn't see that it was a water bottle. Anyway, it was, then all of a sudden you see come out of the side with the microphone. You see a microphone outside the curtain, and you hear, Stacey, not Shania, Stacey, back. And I swear it was the most crazy thing. I did a quick pivot turn, and I, you know, grabbed the microphone, and I didn't miss a beat.
Oh, I love it. That's because you're a pro.
So at the end, everybody came out with water bottles, and they were squirting them at me, and the audience just thought,
Oh
was
my
the
God.
coolest thing, because they thought they were in on, well, they saw a mishap, right? They saw a blooper on stage, and they just thought that was really fun.
Oh my gosh. I have one like that, but it's not a funny story, and I didn't recover well because I think I was very new at doing this, and I didn't know what to do. I was literally mortified from my wig falling off, and I almost refused to go back out on stage. I was like, no, I can't go back out on stage. My wig fell off, you know, and all the dancers are out there still voguing and laughing, and that made me even worse because I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed.
Oh, and you, right, and anytime that happens, that's the scary thing. Like when you're sick, right? That's a lot of things people don't talk about is, and you and I are always talking about that. When you're, you know, the show must go on. So when we're sick, like any kind of vocal problems or cracking or things that might happen on stage when you're sick, that right there really embarrasses me. too. I know that feeling. I'm sure you'll get to do an interview with Lori Mitchell Gay. But she has those really funny wig stories where her wigs fall off and then she's down on the ground patting to try to find it in the black.
No.
Boy, mine are rooted to my head because I'm so afraid.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm sure I could think about
You know,
it.
once
That is definitely one of the funniest.
yeah, once something like that happens to you, you almost get hypersensitive, and and you basically always double check. Am I holding a water bottle before I go out? You know, you just make sure that you're just set.
And they just happen. You're right, and they just happen to be filming that day.
Of course.
So I have
course.
that on film, and it's really funny. I'll have to try to find that for you so I can play it. I'll try to find it. There was another time too where they were filming. I don't know why these embarrassing things happen when I'm filming, but I was in Australia and I was doing Maryland, and we were at the Warner Brothers outdoor amphitheater. There was like, 2,500, 3,000 people. It was packed every day. And they had fires at that time. I don't know how we were still performing out there, but the winds were going crazy. And when I came out for Maryland, you know, we do that number Heat Wave. So it's a quick change. And we had, a 3-tier giant stage. And in the middle of it, we had a 17-piece orchestra.
Wow.
So I came out during my change of Heat Wave, and here I am. I come out, and normally I have a little bra top, like her costume, and it's a big Spanish skirt that's over a black G-string. Well, you're not supposed to see the G-string, but I happen to have that on. I don't ever have that now. I have regular black briefs because of fashion. So
I'm sure nobody minded.
Oh my gosh, I come out there and
But Marilyn's dress blew up. That was the famous thing. Are you sure you didn't make that on purpose?
No, because it didn't blow up. It came off, and the wind took it and blew the skirt off the stage. So I'm standing there in a little bra top and a G-string, and the whole front row are children.
Oh my gosh.
And the band, of course, was like, like, what's going on? And they were filming that day too, and it was a 5-camera shoot. Anyway, yeah, that was an embarrassing one, I'll say, but I made the best of it.
Wow. Well, I know you have some really cool things going on in your life. Do you want to tell us about some of the things that people might not know about you?
Oh, well, I do have this fabulous accessory line I have right here. As you know, I'm always have to have a project my whole life. When I wasn't in a wig on stage at night, I was doing something during the day, whether I was quilting. I don't know why I love that so much. It's pretty therapeutic. I loved texture. I love doing things with my hands, sewing, making costumes. So actually, in 2010, when I started doing Martina McBride, I made a corset full of vintage flowers, and I put Swarovski crystals in the center, and that's how I kind of developed this accessory line, which is Whitton de Fleur.
Yeah,
So,
I own some of those.
yeah.
Love them. It's very interesting too how you've shown me how you go through the dyeing process and all these amazing things to get your product look like it does. It's really a special product.
Thank you. It's really fun, all ages, and I love to do art shows. So sometimes when I'm when I'm on a gig in, I don't know, wherever, Myrtle Beach or Branson, if they have art shows on the weekends, I'll go do those, and that's really, really fun. And you can get them online too. And then it seems like every time I think, oh, good, I'm going to have a little bit of a break, I take on another business.
Girl, I am the same way. You and I are so much alike like that. But your whole family is into a lot of really cool stuff, and everybody's moving and shaking. It seems like you're just a big group of entrepreneurs, and that's what I love about your family. So
thanks. We do. Yeah, we do all come from, we're all entertainers, like I said. So they all became bartenders so that they could survive in LA. Yeah. And they just happen to be really great mixologists. And so that was one company. And then now just our tequila, right? So we're so proud of it. All of us, like I said, our team went down to Mexico and they created an incredible tequila with our distillery. And so that just came out last month and will be in stores on June 1st. It's called El Sativo.
Yes, and from what I understand, all that hard work really paid off.
Yeah, gosh, this pandemic has been a little, challenging for everybody for many reasons.
Yes.
And so that kind of delayed our launch, but things happen for a reason. You have to just learn to roll with the punches, and look for the silver lining and everything. You're really good at that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think both of us, just keep carrying on and reinventing ourselves yet again. So, that's what we do, and it does keep us going in life.
Yeah, and I think the excitement of performing, and you're so creative as well, and just I think creating on all different levels, not only with wigs and makeup, which we love, and that comes very natural. I've always loved working with both of those things, and then in the acting and the singing on top of that, of course, is like ultra creative. And I don't know, I always seem to have side projects that I love to be involved in, and you're very business minded as well. So I know you understand. You do a lot of real estate, and anyway, it's just I like to have my fingers in a lot of different things.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, this might be a good time to mention that we're going to try to do an online show for you guys. So maybe Stacey and I will do a couple of characters. We're going to have some other people involved as well. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, so I won't say who, but it's going to be awesome.
What if we were dueling Marilyns and we tried to rip each other's
Yes.
wigs off?
Oh, we already talked about that. Remember when we tried to put that show together?
I could like reach over. I don't know if I could do it now.
We were going to do a show in Times Square, and Stacey and I decided to produce this show together, and it kind of petered out before it got started, but we had fun working on it for a minute.
That was so fun. That was a really exciting show. What Coty and I were going to do all of our characters, or most of them. See how many we could fit in.
You might not even have had some of them back then.
I didn't. You're right. I wasn't doing Pat Benatar at that time.
Yeah.
I have to
Love
say,
Avatar.
for the record, is probably my favorite. I did Gretchen Wilson for a hot minute, and I love her music. I think she's kind of the female Garth Brooks, and I love listening to it. I love performing it. She's such an interesting character. She dances like a rodeo guy. She's got this like weird little say where she pushes her hips forward, and she's home wrecker. So she's, I know what you're doing, like very, very she doesn't speak like that, but she's just so much character in her voice, and she has an incredible range. She's really fun to perform. Anyway, the reason I brought that up is actually I can't really remember, but I'll get there. I got to get on a four-wheeler, and I rode that out on stage in Branson, Missouri.
Oh my gosh, I would have loved to see
It was really
that.
fun. But she, for a long time, was my favorite character to perform, because she had she's 3D, just so many things going on. And then was sad because I didn't really get to perform as her very often after like 2012. She kind of fizzled as far as marquee value. And so I haven't really done her since then. But when Pat Benatar, when that idea came around, and they, Legends said they were looking for a Joan Jett. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if they'd want Pat Benatar instead. Because I thought that would be, anyway, so I auditioned as Pat Benatar for them, and that's how that started. But
good for you. Yeah.
It was, she is now my favorite. And she's similar in that she's got that, Gretchen Wilson had that Southern rock thing going. Really, she's actually a real clean singer. She doesn't have a lot of grovel in her voice or any rasp, like Pat Benatar has a little bit of that, her 90s sound, which is what everybody knows her records, the sound from her 1990s records. She has a little more grovel in her voice now. I don't know if that's really the right word, but just gravel. It's not
Yeah.
really, it's not, Janis Joplin or anything, but there's a little bit there every once in a while. And so I really get to sink my teeth into her vocally. And I love her in that I love to perform as her for many reasons. But it is interesting, and I don't know if you go through this with your characters and the similarities, but vocally over the years, I've been able to go, I'll pull a little bit of this style of vocalization from Marilyn, and this style, I use this same kind of vocalization for this character. And so over the years, I've developed, really been fortunate and blessed to develop different parts of my voice vocally, and of course increase my range based on the characters that I've done.
Totally. Yeah, totally. And just hearing you sing those, those couple of little bits just really makes me want to do this show. I really can't wait. Yay. I mean, it's going to be, it's not as fun as a real live show, but I feel like this is the new norm. So here we are.
Oh, congratulations to you on being so proactive in just coming up with new things to do. And I've always said this. I was telling my husband, Bob, everyone knows Bob, that you are so great at just creating content, and you're so genuinely interested in how people tick. And I think that's this is going to be a really fun show for a lot of people, because you're so good at drawing conversation out of people and kind of finding out what they're about. And anyway, it's really fun, and it's such a pleasure to sit and chat with you.
Thank you. You too. And I'm really looking forward to getting this out there and talking with some of my friends. You and I know a lot of the same people, and we know people all over the world, and I just can't wait to talk to everybody. It'll be a lot of fun, and I think it'll be an interesting program. So stay tuned. And is there anything else that you want to tell the people, Miss Stacey, about anything that you're doing, or
just
how to help you out?
You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life.
Love Shania.
I'm thankful to everybody that they still want to come and see me wherever I'm at. And, after a while, you do. I mean, you probably know this when you get into, when you come up with new characters, or you're even doing yourself, you're like, are they bored? Do they want to?
Yeah,
still want to listen?
it's true. We don't really know, but
yeah. So anyway, I'm super thankful for everybody out there. They still come to see live shows, even if now it's virtual. It's still kind of live, right?
It is. It's live virtual.
Yeah. And so anyway, maybe just tell everyone thank you. And I know our tequila is really a super great passion of mine, and of course our all the other things that we do, Whitton de Fleur. So maybe go to either my Facebook or my Instagram, which is Whitton, Whitton de Fleur. It's very French. It's a French shabby chic is where that comes from. Whitton de Fleur designs.com, and then maybe just look for our tequila, which is going to be out, El Sativo. We did a song. Oh my gosh. When I come back on here, I'll try not to talk so much, but I will give you our El Sativo song, which my sister wrote, and my husband and I got to sing on it. And it is really such a romantic, fun, catchy song. And so we're probably going to go down to Mexico and do a video for that.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting for the bottle of tequila.
Ooh, I'm gonna get it to you. We're driving through your place, so
Oh,
I will,
okay.
next week, and I will drop a bottle off. That'll be fun.
Oh,
We can do
nice.
some fun.
Okay.
Let me grab it.
There it is.
There it is. See how pretty? We just really, me and the team, honestly, my siblings and our team, the rest of our team, they spent so much time designing. I could see it probably in front of the darker, designing the bottle, everything from the fact that it's USDA organic. We are environmentally friendly, and we're kosher. That was really fun to learn all about. And we have compostable labels. We have 100% recycled glass. And anyway,
Really thought of everything.
we thought of everything. We were just very fortunate to find this fabulous, that my siblings are such great mixologists and know so much about the tequila world, and have such great palates, to create a tequila like this is so incredible. This is our Blanco. Our Reposado, and our Añejo won't be out till next year, but it's a beautiful sipping tequila, and you can either make wonderful cocktails with it, or you can sip it by itself, and not so much like this though.
Special kind of sipping tequila.
Anyway, super fun. Thanks for asking, and I just love you, Coty. Thank you.
Love you too. Thank you.
I'll see you the next time. Okay.
Yes, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for being here with everybody. And we will see you soon, I hope, telling us about some other cool thing you're doing.
Yeah, and we're going to put a show together, and it's going to be super fun.
Yes, for sure. All right, girl. Well, thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye. Have a great day. Night.
Bye.